Good morning, everybody. It's Fat Albert coming to you from my humble abode here in New Hampshire. Today's August 11th, a little bit after 8 o'clock, actually almost 20 and 9. Today I'm just going to be going over some books. Books, what kind of books? No math books, no science books, no statistic books. What I'm going to get going over is some of the books that I used growing up as a fisherman. Started out young, like everybody else. Hopefully your father took you out a couple of times. Mine did, but not much after I was 12. So, but anyway, once I started going back again, I started to learn and do things how I thought I knew how to fish. So the reason why I'm doing this is I'm been fishing. I've had a great opportunity to start fishing with my nephew Mason, who is off to the Army in a couple of weeks. But a few weeks back, him and I have been getting out fishing. So I know that if you've been watching my videos with Mason in them, they're getting a lot of views. So it's good to see people enjoy watching the younger people get out there and enjoy the outdoors. So, but the reason why I'm here today is because one of the things that Mason and I were talking about were knots. So, and basically he was just telling me he was just tying some type of real fancy overhand knot. Yeah, might work. And you cut your kibbies, which he does. But what I did is I wasn't a very good knot fish. I wasn't a person who knew how to tie knots. I was learned how to tie the basic fisherman knot. So, but as I grew older, you learn that there's different. You start doing things, you meet people, and when I started to learn a lot about fishing is when I joined my brother and I started a club called the New Hampshire Hook Setters, and we had it for 8 years. It was fun, a lot of work, but during that time of those 8 years, you meet a lot of fishermen and a lot of people who joined the club. So you had a little bit of a rotation, so you learned a lot from different people. So that's kind of really how I learned how to fish, through them. So, which is good. So now going back to Mason, is I also, once I started to learn more, is I knew that I had to get information, and we didn't have a lot of online back a little years ago. So one of the books I really glued myself to, especially where I wanted to go, if I wanted to know where to go, how to get there, because you needed the book for the directions, but and what was in there and what were the rules and regulations. So, and one of the books I started out with was the Clark's New Hampshire Fishing Guide. I don't know if that's backwards for you people, but in this book right here, it's unbelievable for when it was published. I'm sorry about that. But what you're going to see is going to have a not good, maybe a little better. So that's just basically giving you a quick look at it. It gives me how much weeds, the shoal depth, how much shoal area, a GPS location. Give you some notes, the game fish, other fish like bait fish and hornpout and stuff like that. A bit well-known bait is probably looks like SH. I'm not sure what it stands for. I can go back and look up. But that book has all that stuff in it. It's one of my first books. Just kind of going to drag this out a little longer than I want it to be. But it doesn't tell you how to tie knots, which is kind of how we started again. So, I don't know. I've had this book since 2000. Maybe I got it. I don't know how I got it. But it's called Bass Wisdom by Homer Circle. And this book here actually taught me a lot of things too. And basically what a bass is, what it does, where it goes, how to catch it, what it likes, what it doesn't like. And this book was really good. I pick it up, I leave it in areas where I do a lot of reading. And I always learn something new, because I've gone through the whole book once from page to page, but now what I do is I just find, like, what am I fishing for today? What's the season I'm fishing for today? Match the hatch type of things like that. So, but one of the things that this book has is knots, and a lot of great knots. And So anyway, if anybody's here, you want to learn how to tie a knot, there's thousands of videos everywhere. I've watched videos. I watched one video on a polymer knot probably 25 times. So, and that guy had millions of views, and 25 of those were mine. But anyway, so I did a knot on polymer knot. A video on a polymer knot. So anyway, I'm gonna It's going into 5 minutes now. I don't want to bore everybody, but this is that book I've been talking about. The one that tells you about tying the knots. Like I said, there's videos in there everywhere. The basic fishing knot right there. Polymer knot. So it's out there. You can find everything you need. But just for me, this was a good book. It all, it talked about the Northeast all the way to down south. Obviously, I fish up here in the Northeast, but get a book that you like. Get a book that's you can enjoy. Have some pictures in it. And this one, Uncle Homer's kind of got a good name to it. So it's not Uncle Albert, but everybody already has one of those. So anyway, this is it. Just to kind of tell you what I've done, what books I've looked at. It's just some simple things for anybody who's starting out. I'm not sure if these clock guides are in every state, but what a book. You can see how well it's been used. It's been opened quite a few times. So anyway, Knot for Knot. Thanks for watching.